Good afternoon. This is Ron from the Ron and John Show or podcast, whatever you want to call it. This is Ron, myself, and my co-host John is here. Go ahead and say hello to him.
Hey, this is John, and this is Real Talk Eastern Shore.
Yeah, speaking about real talk, we're in the middle of October. It's starting to get a little bit chilly at night. Please bring in your dogs if you had them out there and stuff like that. Also, be kind to the humans out there because, man, it's getting chilly real bad. I know last night it was like 51, 52 degrees. I know it's not New England weather, but it's cold enough, like, you got to put a long sleeve shirt on. I mean, I don't mind wearing my shorts in it, but, like, I get cold up top. Like, I guess not enough hair. You know what I mean? Maybe I shaved too much when I was younger. I don't know, but it's pretty rough out here during the night. It's starting to get colder and colder, and I think it's supposed to go up this week coming up. I think 70 degrees during the highs, but the low is supposed to be like 40, 30, 50. Man, that's still cold no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, it's your typical Eastern Shore weather, and actually, it's going to be in the 50s and 40s and 30s for the next few days.
That's what I'm talking about. Short sleeve shirts, t-shirts, guns out. You know what I mean?
50s and 40s.
Still, it's t-shirt weather.
You have a hoodie on right now, and it's 70 degrees.
It is not 70 degrees. I bet you it's 61.
It's 70.
Is it 70?
Yeah.
I think it's because of your body temperature. Like, that's how I think it is. I mean, you're from Peru.
I'm just naturally hot.
Yeah, there you go. You come from South America. Some people think you're from Africa, but it's actually South America. And maybe it's your body that is saying, my body is a 95. It's 51 degrees here. So, like, if you put 95 and 51, that's 146 divided by 2 is 73. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe you're, what is that, the Apple Watch or something you got? Something like that. Maybe that's what it's saying. That your temperature is so, like your glow, your aura is so warm that it's just bringing the warmth out and defeating the cold out there.
It's got to be it. I'm trying to share the warmth.
Well, I'm telling you right now, there is nothing warm about me right now. Like, I yesterday we were planning to go in the Apple Scrapple Festival. Unfortunately, we were unable to go. I went down due to weather. My own body told me not to go. Me and the body got in a fight. As you can see, we lost. My body won. I lost. We lost. Together. So unfortunately, I guess you want to say, or maybe you can say, fortunately, you get to hear our voices instead of other people's voices today. Because we had no plans of an interview or anything like that, because we were going to do interviews live at the Apple Scrapple Festival in Bridgeville. So speaking about Scrapple, do you know anything about Scrapple?
No. I mean, I know it's a thing around the area, but I'm not familiar with it.
Well, I was doing a little bit of research on it, and, like, come to find out, like, it's kind of like a Pennsylvania, like Lancaster, Maryland, Delaware, kind of a delicacy. Looking into it, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So the good thing is, we talk about waste. Everyone talks about waste at, like, McDonald's and the fast food restaurants, and they throw them away. They'll have some up there for an hour or two, and they throw it away. You could give it to the homeless, and they could have something to eat. The Scrapple is pretty much made of all the stuff that, they don't use to sell off a pig. So, that good juicy bacon and the pork and, the pig speed, and I'm not sure about pig speed, but anyway, whatever, like, all the rest of the pig goes into Scrapple pretty much, and they add a little bit here and there, and I mean, literally, it looks like a hash brown that's been burnt. I mean, have you ever seen those?
No, yeah, I've seen it. I just I can't get my. I mean, I think I tried it once. I was not a fan.
So when I was younger, when I was like, I would say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in that range. That's what I ate for breakfast. I got to the point where I ate too much of it. So, like, I despise it now. Like, but it's amazing. Like, so many people like this. I mean, it's kind of like, hot dogs. Like, I can't stand hot dogs with a passion.
I used to like hot dogs, and lately it's just I can't get that taste.
No,
I can barely eat one, and then it's just I don't know, something with the taste.
I can't even eat one. I can't, because it just makes it's disgusting to my taste buds. Just makes me just cringe and everything. And I'm just like, man, I can't eat I'll look at a hot dog and I'll eye it up for like 1 second, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just go hungry. I'm just rather go hungry, and I'll just deal with it later on down in life. You know what? I'm gonna go buy a hamburger for $12 instead of getting a free hot dog at this place. And it's kind of sad to a point, but I guess when you get older, you have different taste buds and you have different tastes. I mean, is there anything that you used to like when you were younger that you don't like anymore? Because like that was like Scrapple and beets. Like I used to eat beets out of the can, like it was nothing. Now I can't stand beets. I can't eat one bit of it. If I see beets, my stomach turns so quickly. I can't stand it.
I don't. Well, other than hot dogs, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but chicken nuggets. I used to love McDonald's chicken nuggets.
So you love the McNugget, now you don't.
Yeah.
Is it because you found out what was in it?
Oh no, I don't care what was in it. Obviously, I eat McDonald's still. No, it just tastes. I don't know if it's like you said, different taste. Something's different with I don't know if my taste buds or the way it's cooked, but it's definitely different. And I've had them from different locations,
Yeah.
and they would just. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get it.
Oh, I understand that. Well, see, like I used to be able to eat McDonald's all the time. It didn't matter what time, what day, what place. It was 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 9 a.m. It don't matter. I could eat McDonald's every single day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand to eat McDonald's, period, now.
Yeah.
If I eat McDonald's, I literally have to go to take a nap for 2 hours and then wake up.
Because you feel like crap.
Yep. And then guess where I'm going the next bit when I wake up? Straight
To
to
release
toilet.
the crap.
Yes, it's crazy because I guess because when I was young, my family would go, okay, well, we're going to go out to eat. So my idea was to eat was we were going to fast food.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go to McDonald's, or I think back then it might have been Roy Rogers. It might have still been Hardee's. It's one of the two up in Harrington. And so there was no such thing as like sit down. Like you sat down in McDonald's. Like now you sit back. If you look at it now, like it's more of a sit down place now compared to what it was back in the day. But like now I just rather sit in a restaurant, get service done to me. Here you go. Here's your food. I cooked it. It took 20 minutes to get to you, but it was good. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was, that was because we were poor. Like,
Yeah.
like, going to McDonald's, was a delicacy for us. Like, oh, you going to McDonald's? Oh, that's the first time in 3 months. Now literally go out almost every other weekend. Well, shit. I went 3 times this week already out. You know what I mean?
I can't say much. I had McDonald's breakfast every day this past weekday.
Oh, I can't do that. I can. So where I work at, there's a Burger King, there's a McDonald's, there's a Hardee's, there's a Chick-fil-A, and there is a Wawa, there is a Royal Farms, and there is something. Oh, Subway. So all that's within a mile that I can go to. I don't really go to Subway that much because I'm not a Subway fan. Like, I've never been a Subway fan. Wawa, I like to a point. Wawa breakfast destroys me. Like, me and Wawa wants to fight. Like, that's how bad it is in my stomach. As far as Royal Farms, I don't know. Just something, I don't know. It's just maybe what they have there don't really irritate my stomach as much. But it's not bad on me.
Mm-hmm.
The Burger King 2 for $5 is the winner. Like, hands down. Like, where can you get two croissants, egg, and whatever for $5? Like, where can you get that now? Like, nowhere. So, like, you go to Chick-fil-A, you get one of those, like, egg white grills. They're like $5 by itself, just one. Or you go to Hardee's, like an egg. I think it was egg and sausage croissant was like, I think it was $3.50. So, like, I'm spending $7. Why don't I just spend $5?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. The quality is different. You can tell the quality, But then again, Hardee's is kind of rough anyway. But, I mean, it's rough on my stomach. It really is. But it's easy money to spend.
You got to pick how bad you want your stomach to hurt that morning.
Well, yeah. Well, see, the good thing is, wherever I'm at, if I order from there, I'm within a mile of the office. So, like, give myself 5 minutes at least. So at least that 5 minute, say, give or take because of traffic and stuff like that, I know I don't have to worry about too much. The worry is when you get in there and you think everything's fine and no one's around, and you're like, oh, well, I feel good inside. Yes, this is a good feeling. And then everyone starts coming in, and then your stomach starts turning. And you're like, oh, man, this is not good. And then, like, you're sitting there, and you're literally, like, the one time I was sweating. It was bad. I was literally sweating because I was like, man, I really don't want to do this here because it's a single bathroom. So the walls are thin. So, I mean, that's another thing I noticed. Like, a lot of people don't go to the bathroom, like, in public places. And a lot of people don't want to go to the bathroom, but at their house. You know what I mean? I've learned that, it don't matter where you got to go. You go, you go.
You got to
know
go,
what
you
I mean?
go.
Because, I mean, being on the road. So, like, that was another thing. When I was a delivery driver, which I classified still am, like, you started learning where the good porta potties and where the bad porta potties were. So, like, you go and you go by, like, in a development, you're like, oh, well, this development's all, like, built up now. So, like, the porta potty, was going to be destroyed. It's just not natural. It's not nice. It's nasty looking, blah, blah, blah. But you always try to find that one development that had 2 or 3 porta potties and, like, 4 or 5 houses being built in it. One of those porta potties is gold. Like, you could literally not worry about nobody. There's no, like, sign that says, crabs jump 15 feet from the toilet seat. You don't have to worry about that. You just do what you got to do right then and there. Roll out, and granted, most of the time, it was usually on the route. Like, you might have to go 2 or 3 minutes out of the way, but, like, that's not going to hurt you too bad. It's the ones that, like, you're in the middle of, like, Hartley, Maridale, and you're sitting there going, man, those are on Royal Farms, and I think maybe Walker's, like, store, the one on the corner,
Yeah.
and you're like, man, maybe Family Dollar's got something. I don't know. And you sweat. Like, you literally sweating out there, because it's not the best place to be when you're like that. You know what I mean? It just made it very, very uncomfortable. But, I mean, since we were talking about when you came up here,
Yeah.
that, you had what we call emergency that happened, which is not something you did on yourself, but you had to make it happen, because if not, you might have, that was something that I thought was very interesting,
Yes, and what a way to begin our Real Talk Eastern Shore than with Real Talk.
Well, it's real talk. I mean,
Right.
for real, you had to drop a bomb. Bombs are dropped. I don't make things. I don't try to make things like I guess comfortable. But sometimes, you have to be kind of, at the same time, like, be real about it. We all do it. It's part of life. And I don't want to make every episode about, a situation as a body function. But we were talking about it, and then it just came to my mind that, at the end of the day, like, this is what we do in life. And
Everybody poops.
everybody does, it's everyone eats, everyone drinks, everyone, sleeps. Well, 99.9% sleep. Because I think there's some kind of, like, it's not insomnia, but it's some kind of other disorder that lets you don't sleep for a long time, like 2-3 days at a clip. Which I don't know how I would do. I would be miserable, cranky, pissy, which I'm due anyway. But I mean, it's not too bad. But going forward, yeah. Speaking of that, but
It's insomnia. Yeah.
it is insomnia.
Yeah.
It is insomnia. Okay. Well, what, for 2 or 3 days? I thought that was just like hours.
No, it just says insomnia, lack of sleep, not able to fall asleep or stay asleep. Doesn't
Really?
say days or just in general.
Really? So that's another thing I wonder. Like, if we ever, we'll just put this instance, talking about, the homeless in Milford,
Mm-hmm.
their sleeping quarters and stuff. I don't know how I would sleep out there where they're at, like, and be comfortable. Like,
Well, sometimes it's not about comfort. Sometimes they probably can't sleep, and to the point where their body just shuts down till they get a few hours of sleep.
well,
And that's not necessarily insomnia. That's just your body. You're not falling asleep because of insomnia. You're not falling asleep because you just physically can't.
can't go no
And
more.
then to the point where your body can't take it anymore, you just pass out.
Oh yeah, well that's very true. I didn't think about that. Which that's happened, I think, a couple times for me, trying to push, because we all try to push in life. You know, we want to do the best we can for, you know, us, our kids, our families. And sometimes as, you know, parents or, you know, people that, you know, being younger, you know, you're a party goer, you just push, 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 push. And before you know it, you know, you're so worn down, you don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So, but I did find it interesting. You know, that was something we talked about on our first episode. What I was dealing with the homeless that we come through and everything. You know, it's interesting that last week, or was this week, that they finally put something out there about the homeless for Milford.
Really?
You know, yes, on WBOC 16. And on top of that, I think it was the act. What were they? Whatever they do, they feed the homeless and stuff. They were brought into the Milford Council to talk about, you know, what ideas they could do to push to make it, you know, a lot relevant. Because honestly, it's gotten to the point now they're like on every corner in Milford. Now, I remember growing up, the only thing you found on the corners were hookers up there. Like literally, I'll tell a little story here. I don't know if I said this before. 2021, something like that. Me and my friend, we went to a liquor store in Milford. We'll keep it at that. We're sitting there. You go in there, get a drink. He's a little bit younger. I was a little bit older. We'll leave it at that too. And we were going to get some beverages. And this girl come out and was actually selling herself. And I didn't realize that until my boy was telling me about it. And I was just like, yo, why is she even near the car? He was like, yo, she's trying to, you know, sell herself and this and that. And I'm like, what? I was like, yo, we can't do that here, man. He was like, nah, I was trying to get down to $12 for both of us. I was like, are you serious? He was like, man, come on, man. You know me. I was like, come on. That's ridiculous. But that's neither here or there. You know, I think that's past the 2-year, like, you know, situation I can get in trouble for. Something like that. But anyway, but yeah, that was good times, you know. I mean, we were just, you know, hanging out. But, you know, back at the time, like I said, Milford was, you know, as far as I knew, Milford was kind of hoity-toity, kind of up the up. And I knew there was, like, a little bad area here and there. But, like, now it's just so overblown with panhandlers and, you know, people walking around. And, you know, like Milford Friday. Outside it's 7:35 and there's 3 cops going down this one little lane that's like 2 buildings down where the homeless live, and there's like 7 people coming out of the woods where we're at walking by, and we're talking about kids that look 16, 17, 18, 19. So I don't know, they were the first time I seen them, so I'm pretty sure they weren't homeless. They're probably doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. But it was pretty sad to see, you know. And then the one guy came out. He's a mess. But anyway, we won't get into that. But I mean, I'm glad it's being addressed to a certain degree. I don't know what was addressed at the council, and hopefully I can, you know, read into that. But if they make it better one way or another, it'll be great. You know, help out whatever they can do, or maybe charge them, you know, a fee for them to panhandle. You know what I mean? Because like I think, have you ever had a panhandler come to your window?
Driven by some. Never. When I was younger, they used to. Yeah, like when I lived in Arizona, happened all the time.
Yeah.
You stop at a light and they just walk towards each window. They just keep going to the next car, next car, next car. But I haven't really had that happen here. But I don't live near Milford or that area.
You live in the metropolis of Denton.
Yeah,
I mean,
big old
like
city.
Yes, the big city. Well, you live outside the city at that. You know, technically, is that city limits?
It's within town limits.
Oh,
yeah.
It's annexed because of the taxes. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I can promise you that. So,
Taxes and sewers.
Yes, that's the only reason. I know that, like, so when I leave here, I don't see nothing until I get near Target on 13. And usually there's a guy that's, I don't know, just 2 of them that I see on average. If you go past, before you get to Target, there's Burger King, Taco Bell, and stuff like that. If you go back there on that back road, there's somebody every once in a while sitting there. I don't usually go back there in the morning. I just keep it moving going south. So, but I see that guy, and I mean, I've seen people give him money and stuff like that. And then you go to Milford, and then right when you get to Walmart in Milford, there's a Burger King here, the Walmart back here, and there's like a strip mall here It's got Subway in it and stuff like that. There's a girl that always, I see her out there. Almost every morning. It's like clockwork. And then the later it gets, they start, standing beside Hardee's and McDonald's. And it's kind of dangerous because if you think about it, like, I think about this in the car sometimes. You're in a turn lane, you got your blinker on, and you're going to this road that, say, is left. Now, you're not making immediate left, you're kind of going a circle left, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, what if someone accidentally has a heart attack, or someone, is dealing with something and they drop their phone, they go down, they turn the wheel, and they're standing in the middle of the, this little aisle,
Yeah, the median.
Median. Well, it's the side median going on that road.
Oh, okay.
They could get hit so easily. There's nothing they could do. They ain't gonna be able to know, because it's going to happen so fast. And plus, you got a turn lane that's going towards them. If they don't stop there, they're just going to keep it moving. And it's pretty scary to think about. Something normal that we see, you could walk to and just stand there and be okay and be safe, but it's not really safe at the end of the day. So I think hopefully they can figure out a solution with that. Definitely so.
Yeah, it's like they say, it's not how good of a driver you are, it's how good of a driver, or because you can't predict how someone else is driving.
You're right.
In front of you, or what that person is doing. They don't even have to have a heart attack. They could be on their phone. Correct. Like you say, just on their phone and accidentally crash.
Oh yeah, you never know, because anything can take your eyes. Dude, let me tell you something. There's many times I've been driving, delivering, and you deliver so much, you'll forget like a couple miles on your road, and then you start freaking out because you're like, man, did I hit anything and stuff like that. So you get out of your truck at your next stop and you look and you're like, oh well, I'm good. Well, some of the vans we have got some dings in it, so like it kind of messes you up if you ain't paying attention. But it's kind of scary if you think about it, because just a text. You look up your phone, you travel, I don't know, maybe half a mile, maybe a quarter mile, you answer it real quick, you put it back down, and you're like, you look behind you, you keep it moving. Next thing you know, you see these ambulance like 3 miles down the road coming north. You're like, oh shit, did I hit somebody? Like, you start freaking out mentally because your mind does not remember that quarter of a mile or half a mile that you just went by. Maybe that's just because I drive so much that I forget. I know there's been times where I've drove an hour and it was just muscle memory. That's the only thing I can think of that remind me how to turn and everything like that. Yeah. That's happened a couple times, but that's when I wake up like 4 in the morning. That sucks so bad, so. No,
I get it, because that kind of happened to me a couple times when I used to work in Chestertown. And I was working at the hospital. I was lifeguarding in Easton and going to school in Dover.
Yeah.
So I was starting I was starting the morning in Dover, then Easton for lifeguard a couple hours, and then 213.
Yeah.
Where Churchill is.
Yeah.
A couple times, I don't want to say I've woken up, but just I've passed Churchill and I don't even remember going, because there's 3 exits to Churchill on that road. Oh, yeah. I don't remember the first 2 from Easton on 213. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think we drive so much as a society, and we do so much just to make it where we want to be, that we push our bodies to the point where it's so, like, I guess you can say, like, how can I say it, mentally burned out. You know what I mean? And we're so exhausted from everything, and just we don't remember stuff that maybe if we were fresh, be like, oh, we make this first exit to the left, instead, and then we go 2 exits down, and you're like, oh, what am I here for? And then, oh man, I got to turn back around, go and make this exit, go back up north, through Churchill, make this right, cause it also don't help that, like, where you're talking about, there's nothing there.
Right.
Like, there's nothing there. It's worse than an interstate, in my opinion. At least the interstate, you know what you're on. When you're on one of those little, like, and it's not really a back road. It's kind of like a busy road. It's not, I wouldn't classify it as secondary road. I would classify it like not a primary, but not a secondary. Because your primaries are like 301, 50, 404, stuff like that. But I don't really classify that a secondary road.
It's like a business road.
Yeah, because Centerville and Chestertown connect. And to go down that road, a lot of people use it. So, like, all the time, there's always traffic. I mean, and that's the thing. And now we're getting to the fall season. The deers are out. So you know what they're all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to mate. I would tell you, don't go and walk on the road. You never know if a deer might try to mate with you or not. But I'm just saying, because I mean, what do they say? It's the three F's. They're hot. I forget what the guy was telling me. One of the F's is horny, because that's when deers mate, from my understanding. And I was just like, oh, well, that's some good advice there, buddy. You know what I mean? Because they run across the road all the time about this time, because it's fall. And they're actually, I think this is a season for deer anyway.
And that's why there's hunting season to take care of the population so it doesn't grow too much.
Yeah, now you
grow
better,
too much.
Now you better watch it. Peter get mad. Peter be real mad about this, because the fact is, if you talk about anything about killing any kind of animals, I mean, they just get mad about it. So, like, I don't try to talk about killing the animals, but it's actually a good idea. Let's make them mad at us. We got nothing better.
What are they gonna do? Listen to us? Like,
they're going to cancel our 3 listeners. Pow, done.
Cease and desist.
Yes, enough. They don't even have an address for us. You know what I mean?
True.
So, I mean, we're just a floating podcast. It just goes wherever we want to.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, we were supposed to go. Me and John had made our own kind of like arrangements that we were going to do the Apple Scrapple Festival yesterday, and talk about the Scrapple, and try to get how it all goes down, and talk to people, and why they're here, and this and that. And like I said, my body said no. I was saying yes, and then I decided to say no, because my body was just screaming no. So you want to hear a lot of rambling today, which is fine. We just want to keep you guys in loop, talk about little things here and there. Hopefully, you guys can get a couple chuckles and laughs, and maybe some serious thoughts, because we'd like to hear questions, comments, negative, positive, we don't care, because any kind of publicity is good publicity, except for like hate mail, which we haven't got yet.
Yeah.
But it's coming. It's coming. I feel it. But I mean, talking about, the recaps of everything, talking about the ADHD, that, is very evident from me. You know what I mean? As you can see, I bounce all over the place. I guess you can call me, well, the worst part, I don't think Tigger is the word they should use for me. Because Tigger? Yeah, from Winnie the Pooh.
Who's using Tigger on
Well, I'm not yet, but it's coming, because, I want to, so they say that the 4 characters, Tigger, is it 4? Tigger, Pooh, Eeyore, and who's the other one? Piglet. They all have a meaning for emotion. Like Eeyore is like depression and stuff like that, I mean, I kind of go all over the place when I talk. It's kind of sad.
Brother.
Oh, brother.
So
I'll be okay. You know what I mean? So, but like, I don't try to bounce everywhere. But I mean, sometimes when I start moving, it's just where my mind goes. I try to get all my thoughts, and I'll be right on the straight line, and then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, squirrel, and then go somewhere else. So I try to keep it as straight, as narrow as possible. But like I was saying, we did enjoy our interviews that we had. We had with Doug from Greenwood. We had Terry, the ex-state cop. He's from Greenwood, Bridgeville, Laurel?
He lives in Delaware, but he actually is he's from Maryland.
Maryland, yeah. And then we had Tank Mental Mentality. Just keep that in mind. He's from Seaford, Laurel, Greenwood area. Originally from Milford. And then we had Russell the Love Muscle. That guy, something else. He's originally from Caroline County, Maryland. But I mean, honestly, like, I enjoyed the interviews. I thought they were really good. Our first 2, you could tell we were beginners, like amateurs. I thought we sounded better the last 2, and that's a good thing, because like, you can only improve. If you only improve, we can only make this podcast better. And the more like insight we get from our viewers, I mean, how do I say? Well, we do have a YouTube channel, so we do have viewers technically.
Technically, yeah.
Which I think we're talking about going live.
Yeah, we're talking about going live video for our podcast.
So that's going to be on YouTube, correct? So when we do that, so we will have to have a direct phone line, correct?
No. If we go live, people can
call YouTube?
Talk straight through YouTube.
Oh, so just out of the blue, someone will say something. You'll be like, "What?"
No. Comment.
No.
Sorry.
Comment.
Not-
So yeah, you know what?
talk.
That would be great. Actually, that would be kind of cool. Um, Also, that would also do, say, if people start listening and they do comments then, and we catch them up later, we can actually input that on the next YouTube one. You know what I mean? So that would actually be pretty cool. Being from the Eastern Shore, and like I'll say, I don't know how many podcasts are from the Eastern Shore, but it looks like it's not a lot. There's a few. And we're trying to represent the Eastern Shore. We're trying to represent from, Virginia, Eastern Shore, all the way up to Dover, all the way over to Chestertown stuff. And, that's really big for us, because at the end of the day, if we do become successful and things start going up tick like I think they're doing and what they are doing, this will be big for everyone who ever listens, because I feel like anybody's success is everyone's success. Even when someone, I know people that, become like a doctor or a nurse and stuff, and them and you feel proud of them because I remember this guy, he was like this, and look at him now. I feel like that's a win for everybody at the end of the day, and I want us to win, and I believe we win now. Just be able to be on podcasting and able to talk about whatever we want. Like, there is restriction to a point, but that's our restriction we put, not restriction on podcasting, period. And I think it's also very developing as we go, that our ideas develop and evolve into where we want it to go. When you look at all the top, probably 100 podcasters, they all got a brand name, they have a brand face, they talk to the same people, they talk, and if they don't talk to the same people, they talk pretty much with people that are really, really well known. I like the fact that we talk to people that are really, really non-well known, because these are your average Joes. These are the people that live next to you. These are the people that you see at a bus stop, or you see at the grocery store, or you see walking around. You see them in a car. They get out of the car, and you just go, oh, okay, But little did you know, he was on my podcast 3 weeks ago, and guess what, he feels good. This person feels good because some of the fact is they got to tell their story. Everyone has a story. Everyone has, goods, the bads, the uglies, and I want people to talk about it, because I think talking about my issues has helped me a lot more than I thought it would. I've been able to be more, I guess, open with like certain people that I weren't. Afraid of judgment, which I gotta admit, you even said it. I do apologize for a third episode. I was told that I had judged very bad on these pet peeves. I really wasn't trying to, but I was trying to dissect it the correct way. I did not do it. Do apologize, anybody took it personal, but I am who I am. You know what I mean? But I don't really judge. Like, I don't judge the person. I judge the pet peeve. And I didn't mean to do that. And if I did, I do apologize. So there's your apology.
Look at that. You've grown a little so far.
No, I've grown out, if anything. That's the thing.
I've grown around.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got to grow one way or another, right? There, and that's the funny part. Like, I was looking at something on Facebook, and it's saying the average person is right now like 5'6", 5'7" as a male, like 5'1" as a female. Like, were we that short when we? I mean, I don't remember people that short when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's the drugs, maybe it's something. It's genetics. I don't know, but I just noticed that, and I was just like, I started looking around. And I was thinking of people I know and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I kind of tower over a couple people. Like women that are like 35, and they're like, which, not saying being 4'11" is not cute as a woman. Okay, I like short women, plain and simple. But point is this: I'm just saying that I just find it odd, because like I always remember, women being like 5'7", 5'6". Maybe my mind's maybe because I was still growing. but they'd be almost like eye level, a little bit less than eye level. Like every woman I'm around anymore, it's just like I look over top of them. I can look on top of her head, and if they have any like spiders up there, I can actually connect them. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just me. I don't know, man. It's just how it goes. But I mean, overall, I mean, I just noticed that it's weird. You know, I guess it's a fun fact. I guess you can kind of say.
Well, we don't know it's a fact. It's a. Was it a poll? Was it?
It might have been a poll. I don't remember. I was, man. When I get on Bookbase, man, or Facebook, or because it's not like anybody's liking our thing, because we want people to like, because you know what? I'm still going to do this polar bear plunge, this penguin plunge, no matter if we get likes. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to wear tassels, you know. I'm going to wear my pink Speedo, you know, stuff like that, which I haven't got yet. And we're going to keep it that way because I might just go without Speedo. But if we get a lot of likes, I'm going to have to probably go with Speedo. But the point is, I just noticed, like, you know, when I look on there, I just kind of skim anymore. Like, back in the time I used to read, but now it's just like, man, it gets monotonous. Like, some of the people on there are just so about themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because you could put something funny on there, tag it with meme, 25 likes. You put something inspirational on there, and it sounds really great, you'll get 1 like. I find that just so weird. Like, I don't understand that concept, because, like, you know, if we're supposed to be lifting people and making them better, you know, you would think there would be more love and likes for inspiration, or, you know, a thought, or saying, you know, something cute or something that, you know, hey, good morning, sexy, if no one's told you that, or, you know, hey, beautiful, it'll be a good day for you, or, you know, or say, you know, good morning, John, have a great day there, buddy, you know, stuff like that. You would think you'd get more likes for that, but instead, if you sit there and put something that's crude, or something that's like a little bit off kilter,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people like. You know, every time you get a love here and there with your inspiration and things, but you get like 25 likes for something crude, and you get 1 like, 1 love, I guess. But at the end of the day, I guess love is more. 25 likes don't end up being 1 love, I guess you kind of say. What do you think?
I don't know. Me, I personally would rather see something funny on there. I'm not on Facebook to make people inspired, I guess.
True.
I go on there. If I'm on there, I'm putting up a funny meme.
Well,
Because
I
most of the
usually
time,
do.
I'm just, it's too political. Doesn't really know what they're talking about. Okay, I'm done for the day.
Well, I can understand what you're saying. I agree with you to a point. You know what I mean? Because I used to throw out funny things all the time.
Mhm.
But I think at the same time, like, the world is so fucked up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Politically, mentally, worldwide, third world countries, whole nine. But America is so, like, divided in so many parts, and it starts with political issues,
Mhm.
you know, and like we said in the first one, we really don't want to get in political issues, you know, but I think we're going to have to explore it one day.
I wouldn't mind that if we actually got people who know what they're talking about.
Well, I mean, the problem is no one knows what they're talking about, because it seems like every time. Okay, so
No, you can't be a political Facebook person
I agree,
and be
I
like,
agree.
oh, I know my rights.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, a lot of people that are even politicians, if you ever notice, like, you'll read something, and then when you read it, this person will interpret it this way,
Mhm.
someone else interpret it this way. The person that might be in the political form interprets it this way, and someone else might interpret it that way. So I really don't think, a lot of times, if you read some of the stuff, it's kind of contradicting, you know, to a point, you know, like, you know, with, not even going to touch it, but like the abortion law, you know, what they want to do with that, and you know, stuff like that. And maybe we'll have to get someone on here to talk about it that knows what they're talking about 100%, which I can't guarantee they'll know, but maybe it's because their party affiliation will make them interpret it a different way,
Exactly.
you know, and that's the thing. You got to have both
Mhm.
to get the right, because, like, I'll tell anybody, there's 3 stories. this person's story, and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you take both of their stories together and figure out what the truth is. You know?
Exactly. And Facebook is this person's story or that person's story. It is not both.
It's usually none of the truth. You know what I mean? So that's even true. That is true.
Or it's that person's stories from his friend's cousin's uncle's brother.
Well, you know, in Alabama, West Virginia, I think that's legal. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Well, hold on. Caroline County was legal back in the day, too. So, I mean, what am I talking about, right? But, I mean, it's something maybe we need to look into, and maybe we go forward. And the good thing is I do know a couple of politicians, you know, and they're one's a really good friend of mine. And maybe, you know, that's something that we look into. I would like to explore, hopefully. But that's going to be something that we are really, you know, I guess you say it'll be an interview per se, but it's going to be a long interview because when we talk about, I do want to talk about the whole, you know, where they got from A to B and how they got there and what makes you want to do this, because it's got to be a hard job to be a politician, like to a point, because you either got, and to be honest with you, like we say at the end, if you ain't got haters, you ain't living right. They all got haters. You know what I mean? Like, they got a ton of haters on both ends of the spectrum, you know, but I mean, I know it's got to be a tough job, period. You know, I mean, after a while, I mean, if you're in it for like 10, even 10 years, you know what I mean, per se, you know, it's got to wear you. You know what I mean? Because you either have to have really thick skin or you're taking a beating every day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I have tough skin and thick, but I think after a while, I'd probably be done with it by now. You know what I mean? After 1 year, I'd be like, yo, you want to do any better, do it yourself. You know what I mean? But that's how we change the world, though, is to be in politics, because at the end of the day, it don't change unless we can do something to change it. But we're trying to change something ourselves as it is. You know, trying to change the myth of, you know, Eastern Shore has nothing going on for it. And we want the Eastern Shore to be recognized. We want us to be recognized. We want us to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Because like next week, you know, we have something planned. We're not going to talk about it right now until we get it okay, and hopefully we will. And if we do, it'll be one of our first times we've ever done anything like that, and it's going to be pretty wild, I think. You know, and it's going to be a nighttime recording. You know, and we're talking. You know, my question is, in that area where we talk about, I'm not going to say where.
Right.
Is there anything open 24 hours besides the Wawa or Rural Farms?
Near there?
Mm-hmm. Is there people live there anyway?
I think that's in the middle of nowhere, so they have all that space so they can do that.
They could.
But I couldn't tell you for sure.
You know, and that's the thing. We got to get permission. And I definitely want to get permission. That'd be cool. You know, I think that'd be something interesting for everyone. You know, because I'm thinking that there isn't. Except for in Middletown, maybe. That's probably the closest place.
Yeah.
You know. Because that's like 45 minutes from here.
Actually, it looks like Millington's closer.
But there's nothing there. So, I mean, there's literally nothing there. You know what I mean? Literally. So, like, I mean, that'll be, I think it would be cool as shit. Like, I honestly do. Once I get, you know, I send everything, we'll see what we can do with that. We're definitely going to bigger places, bigger volume, bigger, you know, listeners. We want everyone to listen. We want everyone to enjoy themselves, you know, and we definitely want comments. We want people to talk back to us, man. We really want that, because at the end of the day, we're only built so much. Without you listeners, we're nothing. We're just still the average Joe, and we'll always be the average Joe. But we'll know we'll be touching people in certain ways, and it'd be, you know, mentally, as, you know, we can go ahead and say, hey, this person, we did something different for them, and they're happy today because of this. And, you know, we changed someone's life maybe and stuff like that, just for a conversation, or got them out of their misery for, you know, they're, you know, I guess you say in their mind so much that they're starting to suffer, and maybe we can change that and stuff like that just from our conversation here, you know, because like I said, me and John are two different people. I'm fat. He's getting fat slowly. We have kids, you know, we have lives, we have jobs, you know, and we have a plan. We haven't got our plan in place yet, but we plan on doing more than this. This is just a start of a metropolis of what we're going to do. I also want to say that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we work, you know, jobs that, you know, we're blessed to have off on weekends a lot. And, you know, a lot of people work 7 days a week, and some people work in the food industries, and some people have to work 7 days a week. We're blessed that we don't have to. We're able to afford what we need to and have, and be blessed with what we have, which is phenomenal at the end of the day, because everything's starting to increase. I would really love to know since January how much inflation we've had, like percentage wise, because like I think everything's going up maybe 20%, probably, it feels like, because every month it goes up 8% or like 7%. If you put that all together, it's got to go up more and more. So if you put 8% on a dollar, that's 8 cents. You put another 7% on there, that's 7 cents. That's 15 cents. That adds up after a while. And I know a lot of people have to struggle with work and try to get overtime, and they can't even get overtime with their jobs. Because I know of one place, this one woman I was talking to, because I go in there on a frequent basis, she was telling me that they won't allow her to work over 35 hours a week, even if they're short on help, because they do not want to pay the extra taxes on her. Because when a business goes over a certain amount of hours, they pay extra taxes on each employee. And I didn't know that correctly, but come to find out that's true. You know what I mean? So it's pretty sad that, someone has to work 7 days, work, 5 hours a day. That would suck so bad.
Having to work multiple jobs.
I've been there.
Yeah, me too.
Been there, worked multiple jobs, and you don't even know what day it is half the time, because you're trying to figure out, or you work like you used to work 3 to 11, and I could tell you that probably sucks so bad, because it would just, you wake up, you still have all that daytime. Well, not all that daytime, but you're waking up probably, 9, 10 o'clock?
No, the problem is I would wake up still 6:30. And I just wait for the day to start to go to work. Or like when I had my other job and I was going to school, at least I could put that together.
Yeah.
And that day would be filled.
Gotcha.
But on the days I didn't have either, I just
straight boredom. Straight boredom. And I guess boredom is better than working 7 days a week, I guess. I mean, sometimes.
Oh, I was working 7 days a week.
Well,
still.
yeah, but still, like that. Well, you're right.
Not 8 hours every day.
Yeah, true. And I feel bad for people that have to do that, because they do it all the time. But the good thing is there's plentiful of jobs. There are so many jobs out there. Just even the chicken factories, they're always, man, they're mass hiring off the side of the street. Like, all you gotta do is put your application, do a drug test, and you're done.
Yeah, there's on the, what was it, in Denton, between Denton and Greensboro, there's a big billboard, chicken factory hiring.
Oh yeah,
$15 to $20 an hour.
You ever been in one of those?
No.
Don't
I
ever go
know
in
this
there.
thing.
No. Man, that place is brutal. That place is brutal.
But it's a job.
It is. Don't get me wrong, but I can't imagine having to smell that. Literally, you have to go in, take a shower, dry off, be completely 100% dry, so it don't stick on anything, because if you're wet, it's going to stick on you. And then come out, take a shower, and when you take a shower, literally come in the house, unrobe before you get in the house, take a shower, and then hopefully you got every part of your body clean. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, getting my back clean sucks. Like, literally, my arms are, I must be T-Rex or something, because like it is hard to clean my back. Like literally, like I mean, I can get to my upper lower back if I put my arm behind me, but if I go like this, like I can only get, there's like a line.
You just
like,
got to do
in the
more
middle.
stretches.
Well, I've been trying to. Listen,
I can't do it either, so I can't say much.
Listen, I'm.
Get a loofah. Get a loofah.
Listen, okay. So, I don't have a fupa, okay? Number one. And number two, I was never what they call bottom. Because, women can stretch pretty well. They're flexible. They're really flexible. Most women are.
What was that word, though?
Bottom.
Bottom?
Bottom. BOTTOM.
I gotcha.
Because, like, when I have sexual activities.
Coitus, when you have coitus.
Yes, there we go. Whatever you want to call it. I never really, I was pretty much one on top. So, fold a person in half, look a pancake and just pound away. You know what I mean? Per se. we'll just keep the imagination how it is, okay? That's how we're going to keep it.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, because like I wasn't one getting folded. But I mean, I thought I was flexible because I used to play sports, but I'm not that flexible. Like not doing a split. Not going to sit there and jump anywheres and try to like land on one foot, because like now these TikTok videos and all these videos, it seems like they're catering to the one or two people that are jumping off something maybe like 2 foot higher or like a foot higher, and you see their leg break, and I'm like, like how gruesome is that? Can you imagine? Listen, I've never had a leg break. I've had an arm break. I know how that felt. I could imagine my leg break. I'd cry. I'd call me a bitch if you want. I don't even care. Like I'd be like,
It's okay to cry, Ron.
yeah. I would. You know what? I'd be hollering mom. I would holler mommy. I'm pretty much sure I would, because like I can't imagine like the horrifying breaks that I see on these TikTok videos. And the worst part is like your phone knows what you want to watch. So like you sit there, you're like, oh shit, it's another one. It's another one. You know what I mean? Like it's its own recorder. Like, and I hate it. Like I'm thinking about. I've actually thought about going to like a flip phone and stay off Facebook and all that forever.
Yeah, you won't though.
Is that a challenge?
It is a challenge.
Sounds like I got something to do tomorrow. I need to look up how much. I seen one, a flip phone. What was it? What was it? About a week or two ago, I think it was. I saw it like on price. I think it was like $2.50 per month. I was like, damn. I would save like $70, like literally, like just for a flip phone. You know, the only problem would be really boring in the office, because I'm sitting there looking at a computer. Well, it would be boring because there's always downtime somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't know about your office, but I do. I have downtime a lot sometimes.
Oh, we have a lot of broken equipment, so there's not a lot of downtime.
Well, who breaks the equipment?
No comment.
So do they
staff.
get charged back?
Oh no,
No.
we work for the hospital, so
Well, that's going to happen sometimes, I guess, you know, when you're trying to put, you know, a big elephant tong into like a situation that's like smaller than like a pea hole. That's not going to work, you know what I mean? But, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know what equipment it is, but it is what it is. But overall, like I said, we're advancing into the fall. We're about to go into Halloween. We're going to put up some decors. I already got some decors in my front yard. I'll probably send some pictures be on our Instagram, let you know. Stuff like that, you know, we'll have, you know, we're planning on doing it. This is something big for us. I think Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're going to do an episode, and we're going to do it as close as possible, if not on that day. But I think we're going to do a game. And we're going to do a game.
oh, we are.
And the game is going to consist of a bottle of something with a shot glass, and someone's going to get tore up from the floor up. And I'm pretty sure it might be me. But
Yeah, because you don't drink.
no, but we want to do it right. If we're going to do it, let's do it right. You know, don't you agree? It's up to you.
We'll have to video it so that
Well,
people
yeah,
can know.
that'll be even better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm like, this is like, I should do that already, but it's still, it'd probably be worth the fun. You know, I think we should do something like that. If someone wants to join us, we're more welcome to join us. You know, we could, you know, abuse them, I guess, too. Because I just think that we should do something different, something like celebrating, or, you know, or holidays, because, you know, a lot of people against saying Thanksgiving, you know, it's Friendsgiving, or, you know, whatever. You know, my opinion is be happy what you got, you know, and why don't you give? Why don't you give to others? Don't give to yourself, because you know what? You already have enough if you can give to yourself. And like Christmas, I think, you know, Christmas, do we even know what day Christmas is? You know, that's a good question. You know what I mean? Now you got me wondering, what am I talking about? I'm the one that brought it up. So
It's a Sunday.
it's a Sunday. Yo, Sunday, Christmas. Yo, we could even put something on Saturday or Sunday. What do you think?
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a Saturday, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be allowed out of my house on Christmas Day.
Do you need parents' permission?
Oh, I'm going to need my kids' permissions.
Okay, well, I can. Okay, so if I buy them a couple gifts, would that be cool?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so there you go. There's permission. There you go. Listen, I got to take your dad for an hour and a half. Leave us the hell alone.
It's from
You know what I
Santa
mean?
Ron.
Yeah, Santa Ron. Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say that
No,
again.
no.
No. But no, we wanted. I think it would be something unique. Some we bring to the show that let people know that we enjoy life. We have fun with life. Just because we're behind microphones and we're being serious sometimes, and we cut up some. It's not. Hey, this is how it is. This is what it is. We're just like everyone else. You know what I mean? We do 8 to 5s. I do 9:30 to 9 half the time, but still, I did 53 hours this week of work. 53 hours. So overtime. When I walked in, when I clocked out Thursday night, I'd already were in overtime. Hopefully my boss ain't listening. But anyway, it's his job. When we were talking, he told me, "Hey man, just make sure you don't go over 50 hours." I got you, buddy. I got you. So I'm going to do my 50. He's cool with it, so I'm cool with it. But I just think it'll be something like a different little flavor. We're not going to be the drunk wino show because we ain't going to do it every time. But we could do something different, spiritual, not spiritual, but festival, and maybe hopefully it's snowing Christmas. That'd be pretty cool. The day before Christmas or something. We can. I don't know if we'll be out here. But
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Hopefully by then I have someplace.
well, we'll have the studios. I mean, we've been working on the studio for 6.3 years, and it's taken a lot longer than what we thought. So now we're like 9.3, but it's okay because you know what? It's still the fact that I can still keep us warm enough. And worst comes to worst, we have another room that we can use. And we're outside. It's so nice that we can go outside and listen to the kids next door screaming and yelling. And there was a grass cutter over there. My woodpecker and my owl have not returned, so I must have made them really mad or something. So, and if you see, like, the leaves are turning.
Yep.
So it's about to be really beautiful on rides when you go out Saturday or Sunday. The farther north you go, it seems like it's more beautiful up there, like the site, like how, the color changes of trees. And some people enjoy just driving and seeing that. I've noticed that. I guess maybe that's my old self coming out of me being old. Back in the time, I'd be like, I don't want to see this BS, but now I do. So I guess that's just getting old.
See, and I'm thinking, because we are pretty much a podcast outside. And we're for the Eastern Shore. I think we should pick a destination every other week or every week where we go and do the podcast there.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Because, we are Eastern Shore. It doesn't have to be Dover or Denton. An hour away.
Yeah, I don't see why we can't go all the way to the bridge, or all the way up to Chesapeake City, all the way down. That Virginia gonna be right. But we could still do that. I don't mind it. The thing is, we're gonna have to get permission and stuff like that. I don't think it'll look good being at a Royal Farms or in a car.
No,
or
I don't
doing
mean
stuff like that.
do that. Like find a park,
Well,
like
we can find
state
a
park or a local park in an area.
Why don't we just find someone's backyard?
Because you
Well,
we're
no,
already-
not only here, but we can do it somewhere else's. If one of our listeners say, "Hey, you can do your podcast in our yard," I'll be your guest. We'll take care of you for 2 hours, and we're going to sit here and we're going to talk for 2 hours. You know what? I'm in.
I'm down.
I'm 100% in.
Yep.
I know we have people from other countries that listen, so please. I don't think the plane ticket is going to cover itself, unfortunately. But, it's something, if we get big enough, then that's something we can explore. But I really want to concentrate on, the focal points of the Eastern Shore, make us bigger within, and then expand out. But I've noticed, we're getting people from D.C., Baltimore, Jersey. I seen one from Arkansas, Kansas. I know I said those before, but I'm starting to see things down the Eastern Shore. Crisfield. There was 2 in Ocean City and Berlin, which is unusual for us. And I'm glad they're listening because I want them to listen. I want them to input on us. I want them to hit our, Instagram page, realtalkeasternshore.com, or, Real Talk Eastern Shore, or go to our Facebook page, Real Talk Eastern Shore. We want them to sit there and comment and talk to us and tell us, hey, you're garbage. Hey, you're good. I just want to hear something, because at the end of the day, if we don't hear anything, we think we're doing okay. And I'm cool with that. I think we do pretty well for who we are. We're not no expert, mental health experts. We're not mental health, psychological evaluation people. We're not, podcaster professionals. We're not, we're just the average Joe that just wants to have fun, enjoy ourselves, and, make a difference in one person. And that's another thing. If we made a difference, like just in your day, just a difference in like the way you walk, talk, eat, sleep, just mental thoughts, tell us, we'd like to hear that, because, it's just like anything, if you don't know you're doing positive, you start wondering if you are, and you'd like to hear, no matter what kind of feedback, where you kind of are with others. I mean, I did see like there was someone that would post it on the One Chip Challenge, said that they listen to us every
Every
week.
episode.
And that really made me feel good inside. The fact that, we have one person listening to us every day, which is fine, because, I want to thank you, and you know who you are. I'm not going to put your name out like that, because you might beat us up. Yeah, it's just, it'd be really, worth it just to know what people think, and, stuff like that. But, I mean, I guess we've been going on, 45, 50 minutes now?
An hour.
We've been going for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and when I came up on here, I just kept on flying, which I'm pretty sure you got to edit some. But, I mean, I know there was some. Oh, yeah, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is.
This is real talk. I'm not editing anything.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I mean, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
I'm editing that. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
well, that's fine. But, I mean, overall, at the end of the day, I think we are doing a service that is positive. Hearing from someone like myself, making bad choices in my life and where I'm at now, anything can happen, anything can be done, and you can succeed. With your back history, people see that, it can happen. You can succeed in this life if you choose to, if you push yourself hard enough. I mean, no matter what anybody thinks, neither of us was handed a golden spoon. We had to push. We had to, do things we didn't want to do. Like, I didn't expect to bounce for 20 years. Like, it's a blessing. At the end of the day, I met so many good people and so many not nice people, but it's a blessing, the fact that I had to do that. And you working your two jobs, you doing, you working all over the place, technically,
Yeah.
you were commuting, 45 minutes to Chestertown, and
an hour to Dover, then in Easton, and
just all over the place, and you were doing whatever it took. And, now you're commuting here one time, and that's it. I mean, compared to your other commutes, this ain't nothing, which is a plus, and that's the thing, and with life, we have, grown, mature. I'm not going to say mature, but we have a mature here and there once in a while.
We have our moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we're kind of like who we are. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but as time progresses, we're going to, want to get into more of able to move around. I mean, we have the equipment to move wherever we want to for each podcast. If you're interested in, being a guest, or you're interested in us, take care of us. We go to your house, feed us food, you know what I mean? Get us a drink. We're good then, you know what I mean? I'll do it right. I'll even give you a shout out, even for your business. And, that's another thing, there's businesses out there that, want to get more customers and stuff. Contact us, we'll figure something out, we'll make you as best as we possibly can, because we're all about the small business as well, because we are a small business. And technically we're not even a business yet, but we will be soon enough, because we are planning a lot of stuff here in the next couple of years, I would say.
Yeah.
And hopefully sooner or later, it'll all, make itself together. So, I mean, anything you gotta say, or anything you want to talk about?
Well, you kind of jumped on this for a second. If you wanted to be a guest, just give us a shout. We'll gladly take you. If you have a story to tell from your past that you don't think you can tell anyone, and you really want to get it out, but you don't want to go see a doctor. Not that we're doctors. We are definitely not doctors, but we are people that will listen to you. And it can be anonymous.
Yeah, we could
That's the
definitely.
word.
We don't have to say your name, and it don't matter if I know you or not. I'm not going to sit there and put your shit out like that. I'm not going to say, oh, well, this girl said this. Did you see her here on a podcast? No, I'm just be like, yo, you should listen to a podcast. They wanted to talk about something they wanted to get out because everyone has a secret they don't want to talk about. And everyone has a story. And we want your story. We love your story. We want to need your story, and we want you to feel comfortable enough to come out and talk to us about it. Or you can sit there and message us about it. Since my co-host John wants you to give a shout. That's not a shout; it's a message or a phone call. Or so, just remind you that is Real Talk Eastern Shore on Facebook, on Instagram. I think soon we're going Twitter.
We're on YouTube.
YouTube. We're probably going Discord. I don't know. We're going all kinds of stuff.
Well, we can do live on YouTube, so we don't have to do Discord.
Well, we might want to go to Twitch.
Oh, Twitch. That's the one.
We might do that. We might have to do that. But as we grow, you grow. And when you grow, I grow. So when I grow, it's going to be an explosion because I'm that fat. So that's what I'm going to say. But, I mean, definitely, don't feel uncomfortable. Don't feel shy. Don't feel like, we're going to sit there and put your business out there unless you want it to be put out there. We're not going to say your name. We don't care. Because at the end of the day, we all have issues. We all have problems. We all got, stories to tell. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you know what? If you don't have haters, you ain't living life right. So for me and John,
have a good evening.
And have a wonderful night.